Welcome back, everybody, to Next Level Sports. I'm your host, Ant-Man Z, as always, with my main man, Andrew Crash Nash. If you couldn't guess by today's thumbnail, title, and background, we're discussing the Buffalo Bills. What do they say? Bills Mafia. Hey, Crash, fitting shirt you got on to fit with the
Yeah,
Mafia.
yeah, I
No one's
wore
more
this.
Mafia than Scarface, Al Pacino.
They always say in football, be intentional.
That's right. Well, speaking of being intentional, we're going to go ahead and break down their 2025 outlook, talk about who they lost, who they picked up, whether or not they're going to be any good. And then, of course, at the end, we'll give you your fantasy predictions. Now, for any of you watching today, you guys are part of a lucky crew. Let me just point that out. We are going to grandfather in our first 50 subscribers to our Patreon channel, where you are going to get our free picks of the week. This is going to be a $29.99 subscription for anybody else once we get past 50. But if you are one of our first 50, you're going to be grandfathered in for free. So do us a favor, smash that subscribe button, hit that like button, share it with one of your friends, and send us your email either to our channel or post it down below, and we'll make sure that you guys get set up in our Patreon.
Yeah, as when I was a sales and marketing director, as I would tell future sponsors, you're going to want to come on now.
It's
because
free.
later on.
Yeah, you have absolutely nothing to lose. It's as simple as that. You click one button, you give
Right.
your email address, and you'll have access to it for life. For life. We're going to be that nice to our first 50 people. Because you know what? The way I see it is if you guys were willing to take a chance and support us, then we're going to do what we can to support you. And we'll keep that like that for life. Now, let's get into the Buffalo Bills. Crash, just your initial thoughts of, because listen, this is a team that they have, and when I say they, I mean me too. I've anticipated that this team coulda, shoulda, woulda been in the Super Bowl at least 3 times over the last 5 years, and they just cannot get past Kansas City, and now it was Baltimore. What's going on here?
Well, because they don't know how to close out games.
Sorry, Bills fans, but you know that they know that better than we do.
I'm just saying, Chiefs got their numbers. This is what makes Andy Reid and the Kansas City Chiefs and Mahomes so great, because they know how to start and they know how to finish. And so far, Ant, the Bills have not got over that hump. They cannot prove, at least to me, that they can get over that hump and close out the games that they've got to.
Yep. And you know, Crash, when I look at their roster, I don't really see much except this. I'll tell you what I do see when I look at their roster. If you go to the ESPN app and just look at their current depth chart, I see a lot of Qs all over the board. That means questionable. That means these guys are hurt. You got Josh Palmer, Q, Curtis Samuel, Q, Caden Prather, Q, Khalil Shakir, your wide receiver number 1, Q. The whole offensive wide receiving core is questionable. And then defense, it's almost as bad. Terrell Bernard, questionable. Dorian Williams, questionable. Taylor Rapp, questionable. Deion Walker, questionable. Shaq Thompson, questionable. Baylon Spector, questionable. Donnie Jackson, questionable. Colby, the whole team is injured right now. Now, listen, everybody already knows, as goes Josh Allen, so goes the Buffalo Bills. This is, in my opinion, the best player in the NFL. And I say that, Crash, because nobody takes his team, puts them on his back, and does what's necessary. Because of all those games that they've lost, Crash, they've lost a couple AFC championship games. They've lost a couple division playoff games. You cannot blame Josh Allen for a single one of them.
Well, I had to, there again, I agree but disagree. But here's the deal. I agree with you in a certain aspect. But actually, I had to review, because doesn't it seem like for all of us, like the Super Bowl and the playoffs were like light years away? Yeah. So, I had to go back and refresh. And I went back and did highlights on the AFC championship game with them and the Chiefs. That was a dogfight, by the way. I was like, dog, right? Now, I was impressed. I'm impressed by his accuracy. Josh Allen can thread the needle. He can throw throws like no one else can throw in the NFL. But I did see some things that I have to disagree with you. If you go back and watch that game, he did, instead of taking a sack, he did some foolish errors. He tried to get around. I think it was a forced fumble, maybe one or two in that game. If you go back and replay it, you know what I mean? It's like you know, like just like trying to throw it, and it was a couple fumbles. So
That's
in one aspect, I think that he was part of them not being able to close it, but we don't know what the play call was. And let's admit also, Ant, I have to agree. I might have made some mistakes with the other day when we was talking about the Kansas City Chiefs, because you're right. They have a fantastic defense, swarming defense.
yeah. Well, back to Buffalo real quick. We'll get on to that because that obviously did give them fits. Dallas Kincaid, right? He's the guy that dropped that fourth down pass that hit him dead in the hands. You know, and you did make a point.
Yeah.
Josh Allen does do too much, but that's because it's required of him.
Right.
He knows that this all comes down to his ability. And let me tell you, Crash, I don't think there's a guy that's tougher, smarter, stronger, has a better arm, has more tenacity. And now he's not to the point where, remember what you said about the Chiefs and a little bit of that, that attitude of, we've been there so much. Can you keep playing at that level? And now the Eagles also, the Bills have not gotten there yet. They haven't even had their shot at the dance. So this is a team that's hungry. This is a city that wants a Super Bowl worse than any team. By the way, quickly, shout out to Marv Levy. I don't know if you saw, he's the former coach of theirs that took them to 4 Super Bowls back in the 80s and 90s. And he just celebrated his 100th birthday. So shout out to Marv. Yeah, that's, Bills fans everywhere. Shockingly that this guy made it to 100 years old, because anybody making it to 100 is a shock. And the fact that,
that's amazing.
He's still bleeding blue and red. I think that this team wants a Super Bowl. They're hungry. And to me, I think the biggest question mark is every single other person on the roster aside from Josh Allen. Literally.
I mean, look at all the other things. I can't think, but Hamlin, isn't it?
You got DeMar Hamlin, the safety,
and came back. So they had they had a lot of ammunition to energize him, right? And this fan base is probably one of the best, right?
Yep.
In the league. And look what they call themselves, a mafia, Bills Mafia. And
I wouldn't mess with them. I wouldn't mess with them.
No, I wouldn't either. So let me be careful what I say. I got God's protection, but
Amen.
I don't mind.
Amen.
But anyways, let's also, one of the things that people fail to realize is that they did it without Diggs.
Yeah.
He went over to Houston, and I wasn't quite sure of what kind of team they were going to be without him. And
they didn't miss a beat. Who stepped up for them, though? And honestly, like I said, the question marks, Josh Allen, a lock. Everybody else, a question mark. And the reason why I say that is because their second best player on the team, the guy that needs to put everybody else on his shoulders as well, James Cook, is a holdout right now.
What?
Or a hold in. I don't know what he's doing. He's waiting for his contract to be finished. Yeah.
Oh, well, that's huge because he was the one. Didn't we cover them last year? He was the one that I said that was going to make the difference, and he did in that game against Kansas City. I said, watch James Cook. In fact, I think I even predicted a few plays would play up, he's
that guy. He's the guy.
That guy, man.
They gotta have him. Listen, I don't know what's going on in Buffalo, but they've got the cap room.
Oh, wow.
I think what happens is, Crash,
I didn't know that.
You understand the X's and O's very well, but you've also been on the executive side of pro sports, or semi-pro sports at least. Mm-hmm. And sometimes, I hate to say this, especially with these running backs, these guys start getting up in age. Let me see how old Cook is. I want to say he's 28, maybe. Mm-hmm. Let's see his age here real quick. He's only 25. So he's still young. He's still
You're
young.
thinking the
You know
wrong
what?
Cook, ain't you?
Yeah, I was gonna say I conflate him sometimes with his brother. I think his brother's 5 years older. But I hate to even say this, 25 might be old for a back because so many times what they want to do, the NFL's trend over the last 5 years has been to steal these guys out of college, give them that rookie contract, run them until their legs are broken, and then not sign them to the big deal because why? You just go sign another workhorse, especially in the NFL, which recently has gone to this platoon style back where you don't put it all on one guy. They just have not wanted to invest the money into that
Yeah.
position. And that's the problem that
Well,
Buffalo has right now.
well, because it is true, and I think and ownership knows that. Running back is one of those positions that you can take a fifth or sixth rounder and throw them in there, and it works. And they know that. That's one of the positions in the NFL. I hate to say it. No, that's no disrespect to running backs. In fact, I wanted to be a running back. That was actually the position that I loved the most when I started playing football, but I just wasn't fast enough.
Yep.
And but
you had to chase him, not be chased.
Right. But hey, listen, look, and they could be doing some leverage there and knowing that and saying you're just not worth what we believe you are. Yeah. We don't know. Then again, we do not know what's going on.
You know, the day of the running back getting paid big money was in the early 2000s. Now, when you look at the money that they were making then compared to now, it's chump change. But it was the days of LaDainian Tomlinson getting 25 touchdowns. It was Priest Holmes getting 28 touchdowns. It was Sean Alexander getting 30 touchdowns. A guy that scores 30 touchdowns for your team, you're going to pay the guy. I mean, I like James Cook. I think he's good. I want to say that he had 16 touchdowns last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, look that up, will you?
That's what it says. 2004, he had 1,000 yards rushing.
Yeah.
He had 16 touchdowns. That's running. And he had 2 catching touchdowns to 1 fumble. I mean,
1 fumble.
Pay the man.
Yeah,
I don't know what he's asking for though. But.
Yeah, and the extra effort. I went back. If anybody goes back and plays the tape on him, it's the second extra effort. Like there was one stretch play in that AFC Championship game, and even the announcer, I think it was Romo. He said,
"I like Tony Romeo even better." That's who he thinks he is.
Anyways,
we can say that these are Bills fans watching.
Yeah, hey, let's be transparent, honest, genuine, here. But no, it was a stretch play, bro, and it's like even Tony Romeo said, "Oh, yeah," and all of a sudden, whoop, he just goes upfield and a touchdown. So, and then there was another play on the other side of the field that he got smashed in the side. He reached over the end zone, touchdown. So this guy's second effort is it's there, bro.
And you know, let's be frank. If you do not pay him and you somehow lose him or you trade him or he just ends up being a holdout, I don't know what the situation is going to end up with that. You've got nothing. You've got nobody else on this team. Their backup is Ray Davis and Ty Johnson. And if you're saying who,
I did.
Exactly.
I did.
Exactly.
Now, Ty Johnson, I don't know.
Here, I'll give you some quick. He's out of Maryland. He's 27, so he's actually 2 years older.
Wow.
He's got 5 career touchdowns. He had 1 last year. He touched the ball 41 times. Compared to Cook, who just had 207 carries plus 30 catches. 16 touchdowns, 18 touchdowns total.
How do you not sign the guy by now?
I don't know what he's asking for. I don't know what he's asking for, but it's got to be in the range of what a good running back, because he knows he's not top 3 in the league. But he's got to be in the top 10. And I don't even know what his contract is.
I wonder if he has a franchise tag on. I wonder what that.
They could probably do that. Bills fans, you guys know this situation better than we do. Can you please tell us down? First of all, what's going on with him? And then what do you think should happen? We want to hear from you guys. Speaking of that, hate to beg again, Guys, we need those 50 subscribers. I would love to be doing this with you guys live so we can just banter back and forth, chat it up with our fans and our audience. And when I say fans, I mean people that love football, because that's who we are. We love football. We love God. We want to chat with you guys. We need you to hit subscribe. If you have already hit subscribe, thank you. We appreciate you more than you know. You're grandfathered into our Patreon. Don't worry. We'll get your info. Send it on to your friends. Send it to your brother. Send it to your dad. Send it to your uncle. Send it to somebody else. Let them come and yell at us. Tell us what
Bro,
we're wrong about.
I wonder if it's a salary cap issue, because they brought in, they made
who the heck are they paying?
Well, they signed Josh Palmer from the Chargers to a 3-year, $36 million contract. This is their ask.
That's low for a, for the wide receiver core.
But
that's
we don't know
making
know going into it what they already. Josh Allen's contract alone, bro, I know it's got to be astronomical.
As it should be, as it should be. But when I look at the rest of this team, look, they did bring somebody else over.
Are you going to beat me to it?
Yeah, I'm going to, but I'll, Joey Bosa. But
Joey. Oh, Bosa. Yeah.
But here's the problem with that, and this is the shocking part. Yeah. Of all the people that I told you that were questionable, I mean, there's no one that's more injury prone than Joe Bosa. So, I mean,
the Chargers just let him go, bro.
Yeah, because
they just let him go.
He couldn't stay healthy for them. He couldn't stay healthy. Now, maybe he has a turn here in Buffalo.
So it's a high risk reward,
Yeah, and I wonder what his contract is.
That's gambling.
Yeah.
They're throwing. They don't know. You don't know a person like that just consistently just can't stay healthy. Because one thing I know this to be true, and thank God I never had any serious injuries on the field, is it seems like these guys that have one injury, it seems like it just continues, like another one. Like you have a hammy, torn ham, then it goes from ankle to ankle to, it just like, right?
Well, as a former player, you know that better than anybody too, because it just.
Well, I always state, bro, there was no off season for me, so I don't get all these injuries. You know what I mean? And plus the money that some of these football players, they spend big money on their bodies, rightly so, right?
As they should, because they're making billions of dollars for investing it. But you mentioned that cap space might be an issue. I just looked them up. Mm-hmm. Their cap space right now is only $946,000.
There it is.
The jelly beans are up to the very top of the jar, and you can almost not squeeze the lid. So in order to get him a contract, you're either going to just have to flat out cut somebody else. But when I'm looking here, almost all of their contracts are dead cap hits. Like they just did not structure their contracts very well. And then now you're asking somebody else to restructure to just keep him. They're in a tough situation.
They had to retain their core. Let me share this with you. Several key players on contract extensions. Yeah. And they couldn't. This guy was extraordinary for him. So I can get this. Wide receiver Shakur. Shalai, how do you say it? Shalai Shakur.
Shalik. Yeah.
How do you? Linebacker
Khalil Shakir.
There he is. Terry Bernard, cornerback. Kristen Benford. So I mean, these are players that they had to keep intact. This is the core. But you would almost think that as we're talking. But then again, it goes back to what I said. Unfortunately, running back is one of those positions.
Yeah.
And it's almost true. You can take a fifth rounder and fit him in, man. And all of a sudden,
what though? They did. He did the team dirty though, because from what I'm reading, he wants in the neighborhood of 12 to 15 mil, really on that high end of 15 mil. Oh. And he's slated to make $5.5 million this year. So we're talking about a $10 million gap for a team that has under $1 million of room to move around. Yeah. How do you get that done? Crash, you were an executive. How do you get that done?
One of your other players that you've already extended one with, you're going to have to ask them to go. You have to go back to them, like Kansas City did with Mahomes, and you got to convince them.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Okay, but Kansas City probably restructured Mahomes' contract probably just by about $1.5 million. It wasn't a lot, I'm sure of it.
Right. We're talking about a $10 million cushion you need here. So really, Crash, you're
Yeah,
talking about having to restructure 8, 9 deals. Like,
not happening, partner.
I don't
See ya.
see.
Hasta la vista, bye.
Yeah.
And I don't blame ownership for this one.
Nope. Nope. And that would really, 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 really hurt Buffalo because, like I
Yeah.
said, it's almost as if they waited or he waited until training camp. Look,
To pull this junk. No, that say it. To pull
well,
this junk. Really?
yeah, really.
Now?
Yeah. I mean, there was just no foresight in that because I get that you want to play the game. I get that
Yeah.
you want paid, especially a running back position. It's like he's got to, I get his mindset. He needs paid now because if he
Yeah.
blows his knee out, he gets injured, whatever happens, he misses that big payday and it never happens for him.
Okay, so no, what you do is
this isn't the way.
What you
There's
do
nowhere to
is
go.
what you do is you win a Super Bowl. Then
Yeah.
you wait after that year. Now you got collateral on yourself.
Yeah.
Because now you can say I'm a veteran that's won a Super Bowl.
Yep.
Okay? I'm just saying.
Yep.
You got to prove yourself. Listen, this is a prove it now, continually on league.
Yep.
Okay? I'm just saying.
If you let me list off some of their draft picks from this year because Cook didn't make a hint of this prior to the draft. They went all into their secondary for the most part. Round 1, they got Maxwell Harrison, cornerback. Then they grabbed a defensive tackle. Then they grabbed themselves an edge rusher. They really shored up their defense. Then they went for another defensive tackle. Then they went for another cornerback. Then they got Jackson Hawes, the tight end, to make up for Dallas Kincaid's drop. Another cornerback in round 6, Dorian Strong. Another offensive lineman, Chase Lunt. And then finally in round 7, they got Caden Prather, who, by the way, is like the only healthy person on the team. And he does look good in the camp, but he's not. He's not even supposed to make. He's not even supposed to make a. Where did he come from?
Why do I know that name?
Well, because you know college like the back of your hand. That's for sure.
Well, exactly. I know that name.
Let's see where he went. I'll fill you in real quick with that one. He is from. Oh, he played for the West Virginia Mountaineers and the Maryland Terrapins.
Okay.
He was a 7th round pick overall, though, but he's looking pretty good. But they didn't go for any running back there because they thought they have their guy. They got their guy.
Hey, and I made a mistake on our last show. I was looking at preseason for Washington. It's actually these guys that face the Ravens the first game.
Week 1?
Well,
Buffalo plays Baltimore week 1.
All right, I'm going to give you everybody a free pick. This isn't guaranteed. I never guarantee anything. But I would take the Ravens on that game, guys. This is the time to get the Bills. Oh, yeah. I would jump all over that game. The Ravens to get them.
Yeah.
We'll see.
So you're saying Buffalo comes out flat. Well, I mean, they might not even have a running back to put on the field or a wide receiver at this point. At this point, Crash, it looks like Joe Bosa might be the healthiest player on this team besides Josh Allen. And what does that tell you?
Wow.
Tells you everything you need to know. That being said, let me give you our fantasy picks too. It's Josh Allen. Josh Allen's the only one that you can put anywhere near a fantasy. Oh, who's their kicker? Tyler Bass, right?
No, wait a minute. The water boy.
Adam Sandler?
I'm really deserving of a good old.
They did just come up with Happy Gilmore too. Maybe they need a water boy too. We'll plug that one for him. Adam, you owe us one, buddy.
Bills fans aren't liking this segment at all.
No, and they're not liking what's going on with their team right now. I dare somebody to tell me different. Because even if you're a fantasy guy, I'm taking Josh Allen. And let me tell you why I'm taking Josh Allen. Because it looks like they're going to be struggling in every game because you got nobody.
Yeah.
You lost your defense. You lost your offense. You're relying on Josh Allen to literally do everything. And then your defense is centered around a guy who hasn't played more than 6 games in the last 3 years each year in Joey.
Yeah, I wonder. I don't know. I just had this thought. I wonder, and I don't know. I wonder, why are we having this trend? Who's the other team that has all these injuries a wide receiver. We just talked about him. Like went down, just 3 guys in one day.
Oh, your Kansas City Chiefs went
There,
down.
okay,
They all
okay,
went down too.
okay. What am I trying to say? Isn't it interesting? It's these cold weather teams.
Mm.
Is there something
Is
going
it
on
that
at
they
these?
can't take the heat? They can't
Maybe
take the
their
heat.
bodies. We
They need to
know.
get out of
We
the
coming
kitchen.
up from Florida, getting acclimated with Illinois again. Your
Yeah.
body has to get accumulated again.
Yeah.
Am I saying it right? But so I'm wondering. I don't know. There's a trend here. I'm thinking, wait a minute, Kansas City. Now it's the Bills. What if these
There is.
cold weather teams? There's something to this.
Yeah. Well, either way, regardless of how
Yeah, I don't know.
or why, this is going to be a struggle for them all season. I feel like the Bills' best chance to do something here is to make a couple moves. I just don't see where those moves are. If you're somebody that knows the Bills like the back of your hand, please let us see what they can do down in the comments, because I don't see it. They're in a corner right now, and I don't see any way out.
I was high on the old veteran, Amani Cooper. He's gone.
Yeah, they're all gone. I'll tell you, the only thing that the Bills have going for, obviously, Josh Allen. I said at the beginning of the show, he's the best player in the NFL. I stand by that. Overall best player. He's still the best, and he's going to get a ton of garbage time points this year because the Bills aren't going to really be in any game. So it's going to be all Josh Allen. Yards, touchdowns, the whole 9. He'll keep him in games. I don't know if he's going to be able to win any, but I will say this. I do not see anything going for them aside from the fact that they are in one of the weakest divisions in football.
Yeah. Well,
that's the only thing they have going for them.
And outside of the we could say the Dolphins could be something, but outside of the very first game, they got a stretch of games that's doable for them. They got the Jets there.
They play them twice. They play the Jets
Dolphins
twice
at home. So what I'm saying is this beginning end of the season, the top end, it really favors them outside of the very first challenge, the game that they have. But outside of that, they go, watch, now listen, they go, so it goes. After that, it goes Jets, Dolphins. These are winnable because the Dolphins are at home. They got the Saints at home, winnable. Patriots at home, winnable. Then they got to go to the Falcons. All these games are winnable, but then it's going to get
I'm with you on that. They got a not the strongest strength
not
of schedule.
The worst.
That helps them. That helps them tremendously.
You play the Patriots twice.
You play the Patriots twice. You play the Jets twice. I think the Dolphins are hapless. I think the Dolphins are falling apart at the seams. You play them twice. That is 6 games that are almost, in my opinion, a gimme. Then, like you said, you play the Saints. You play the Falcons. I think the Falcons are taking a step back again this year. You win those games, it's going to be enough to put them on the map and keep them in the playoff hunt. But my goodness, Crash.
I'm looking at some games in the future. You guys are going to want to come over. I'm telling you that I see some games that you want to get on. They're going to be favored in. And I'm looking down their schedule.
Well, Crash, you're going to give me the inside scoop, right?
Yeah, I can see.
Come on, I got
man.
bills to pay here. I need your help. I appreciate you, buddy, and I appreciate all of you guys for watching. Please like that, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We appreciate you guys all more than you know. We're trying to build a community here. We want you to be a part of it, so we invite you to do that with us. God bless you guys, and we'll see you in the next one.